From a rare year, the likes of which we haven't seen since 1966, 67, 96, or 2010. The overreaction here is the Packers are going to win the Super Bowl.
Oh, well,
Kurt, Booch,
I could throw some money at this.
All three of you. Kurt, you're the first to raise your hand.
Oh, my gosh. I mean, I already talked about it. It's week 2. They're the most dominating team. They got money on offense and defense. And they can run the football and throw the football. They got everything going. They're going to win the Super Bowl. There's no question in my mind after what I've seen for 2 weeks.
Words I never thought I would say with earnest. Kurt Warner's making it rain, everybody. I didn't think that would ever be possible. Anybody else want to?
Yeah, you know, I don't know if I'm going to go as high as you are with this, but I think they're going to have a chance. But like I said earlier, hey, you got to beat the Eagles in November.
We've seen 2 weeks of football. Of course they're going to win the Super Bowl.
Sold Kurt Warner.
Yes.
Sold to Kurt Warner.
Come on,
Yes.
Sold to Kurt Warner.
Congrats, Gary.
Our next item. Our next item right here, and with all due respect to who got game balls, you could have given out game balls on the offensive and defensive side of it to a bunch of other people that have been deserving as well. So, Kurt, you're first up. Are the Packers the most complete team in the NFL since last year's? Wait a minute, that's not the topic.
Yeah, you just made that up.
All right, Kurt, I know you love it. There's only one 2-0 team in the league right now because they're the only team to have won both games in the first 2 games.
Right.
They're only a team to play 2 games, win 2 games.
Right.
So
we're going to ask.
Are the Packers the team to beat in the NFC? You've got to declare right now.
I am going to declare that they are the team to beat in the NFC. I'm going to say it. I know. I know. Everybody else is just won 1 game.
Don't let us twist your arm.
Here's why. And I loved what Coach said in his speech. He said, "What a great team win." And when I watch the Packers through 2 weeks, I believe they are the best team because they have so many different ways they can beat you. They got a great run game. They got a quarterback that can make big plays down the field. They got guys that are getting hurt at the wide receiver spot, but they've got a bunch of young guys that they just continue to plug. And to me, it's as much about the defense as anything. And I know a lot of talk about Micah Parsons, but that front has been dominating, and it has allowed the back end to play aggressively and to attack everything. If you watch the game on Thursday night, Jayden Daniels could not throw the ball down the field. And even when he was throwing the shorter ones, there were PBUs all over the place, as Coach was talking about, because those guys are aggressively attacking the football because they know that front is going to get home. We don't have to worry about it. And there is nothing worse as a quarterback than play a defense that is playing what we call downhill. They're not afraid to get beat over the top. They're not afraid that you're going to get to hold the ball a long time and take big shots. And so it shrinks the field, and it is so tough to play against. So I know they've only played 2 games. Everybody else has just played 1. But the completeness of this team at this point makes me think they are the team to beat in the NFC at this point.
So he answered the question. He said,
both of them. Yes, the fake topic bar and the real one.
Wow, you're getting good at this.
Yeah.
You know what? So you just said they are the best because they're the only team with 2-0. Anyway, I say not yet.
Okay.
And I'm a Packers fan, you know that. I say not yet. Yes, they defeated some other teams that people thought would maybe go to the Super Bowl with the Lions and the Commanders. All right,
5 days.
I mean, they took them apart, man. I mean, it was not even close, all right? But those Eagles are still out there. The champs are still the champs until proven differently, all right? But guess what, people? November 10th. In Lambeau Field, there'll be a little frost on the pumpkin, and here come the Eagles to get to town, and we're going to find out. I want you to ask that question again: who's the best team? And we'll know then. Yes, I love this team. This defense is great. They were the 5th-ranked defense last year, and all of a sudden you had the other guy, Micah Parsons, and they're terrific. Best defense. And last time they won a Super Bowl, they were arguably the best defense in the league when Aaron Rodgers won it in 10. So anyway, I think they're not yet, but let's wait till that game.
And by the way, the Frost on the Pumpkin game is a Monday nighter. So the whole country will be settled in for that. Break the tie, Gerald. What do you have?
No.
Yes. Oh,
What do you mean?
No.
What?
So we got a yes, no, maybe and a no.
I don't know and a no.
Okay.
It's been 2 weeks. Week 2 of the NFL season is overreaction Sunday. I remember back in 2015 when I was playing with the Bucks, we were looking at the Atlanta Falcons. They started 5-0, and then they finished 8-8. Last year, the Saints had 90 points through 2 weeks, and we was like, oh, the Saints are and then we see how they win. We got to relax. They were already a good team who added Micah Parsons, and they were favored at home to beat the two teams that they beat at home. Let's relax for a second.
So here's what I got. I got you uncharacteristically saying after 2 weeks, I'm going to declare something that the rest of your fiber of your being normally doesn't want to do.
Right.
Yeah.
You, Steve, you were right there on the fence, which is somewhat on brand. and then you, I mean, Gerald. Look, Gerald McCoy, for you to make a point while also using it to slag on the Bucs rivals is really impressive. And you slid it under the radar, but I caught it.
Yeah.
I caught it. Let me use this point to slag on both the Falcons and the Saints. That's some next level trolling right there. So. Yeah. Meanwhile, though, the Cardinals won by 7 last week. Will they win by at least 7 today?
No.
Kurt, the Niners won by 4 last week. Will they win by at least 4 in New Orleans today?
I don't think so.
Gerald, the Vikings' last 9 home primetime wins by at least 4. Will they win by at least 4 tonight?
No.
Mooch, the Bengals have scored at least 27 in their last 4 games versus other teams named after a cat. Will they score at least 27 today against the Jaguars? Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Kurt, your Rams scored 23 in Super Bowl 34 over the Titans. Will the Rams score more than 23 against the Titans today?
Yeah, they will.
Gerald, the Broncos and Colts combined for 44 in their last meeting. What about today, Gerald?
I say yes.
Mooch, Saquon had more than 485 rushing yards in 15 of his 21 games with the Eagles. Will he have more than 85 today?
Yes.
Kurt Flacco had at least 243 passing yards 82 times in his Ravens career. Will he have at least that many against the Ravens today?
I think a titch below that.
Gerald, DK had 68 receiving yards per game over his last 2 seasons in Seattle. We have at least 68 yards against the Seahawks today.
Oh, yes.
Boy, Ben going deep in his bag with that cat team stuff, man. They thought that, and obviously the move hasn't been made. What have you seen on film?
Well, yeah, here's the thing, is we can all have our opinions of who these players are, but what I hate is when somebody creates or takes that narrative and throws it into a game just because it doesn't look like on paper it was a very good game. So, Russell Wilson, do we want to make the move or not? I don't know, but we can watch tape all day long and say, I don't care who was in there at quarterback. What are you doing with the football right here? We're down in the red zone. We're trying to score points, which they struggled with. There's nobody open at all. Tries to make a play right there, gets knocked down. All right, let's go with another one. Here we are, down in the red zone again. Mooch, where are you throwing it? You had your number retired. What are you doing with the football here? There's nothing to do, and we can go over this again and again. Here we go. 3 on 2, 3 on 2. That guy's matched out. There is nowhere to go with the football, and this was the theme throughout the game. And so when we heard right there, this wasn't on Russell Wilson. I mean, again, they've got numbers all over the place.
These are all different plays?
Yeah, these are all different plays. They look the same, don't they? Exactly. And so this was one of those games that I believe it was a Giants offensive thing. It wasn't a Russell Wilson thing. And you can have your opinion on, well, at this stage, he can't create and do some of those things that maybe Jackson Dart can do. I could understand that, but that game wasn't about Russell Wilson missing opportunities. It was about the Giants not creating opportunities for Russell Wilson.
What do you think's going on in Daboll's skull right now?
Yeah, it's a matter of when they start incorporating Jackson Dart, because Russell Wilson, he's got a C on his jersey, okay? I was just going to point that out, voted by the team, but he's on a one-year deal. So it's a matter of when, and how do you get Jackson Dart in there? It depends on his readiness, Rich. Readiness, underline that word.
What about this, if you don't mind me just jumping in here? What about taking the pulse of the locker room and seeing who might be more inclined to have Jackson Dart start? You hear that, you
they'll
feel
kind of know that. Players will come up and they'll voice their
opinion.
They will? Yeah. The leaders will. They'll say, hey, you know what? But you know what? But like Kurt just showed you, Russell Wilson, no, you can't put the blame on Russell. They're not a very good football team, all right? And so it's a matter of when. And he's not ready to have the whole volume of offense because he hasn't practiced it enough. But he has played more in the preseason than Jameis Winston and Russell Wilson combined with production and snaps, okay? All right. So will he play a little bit? Maybe there's a package. Maybe there's these 20 plays that he practices a little bit, and he's ready to do that. Maybe a little here, maybe a little there. This is a tough schedule, man.
It is.
Maybe if he starts, maybe it's that. They're not going to wait till the bye week. That's way the heck back here in week 14. So a little at a time, but eventually he's going to be the guy, and Russ knows that.
And what you don't want to have happen is him be put in a game like I saw last week when they were playing against the Commanders, and he doesn't have any success either. And now everybody's going, what just happened here? So you want to make sure your team is in a position that can allow him to have some success whenever that time is that they place him in.
Yeah, there's that word bye right there, week 14. The question is where's the Bye.